From 1994's Motley Crue release featuring John Corabi on lead vocal. 20 years old already. 20 years old.
I can't believe it's been 20 years since Motley Crue did a good record.
20 years.
Just doesn't seem like it's been that long since they were good.
Well, anyway, I kind of had a hankering for some John Corabi Crew and played some Misunderstood, as well as talk about your latest venture with your Cause and Effect series. Sure. Your writing books. Of course, your first one was on the Metallica Black album. How did that one do for you sales-wise, or do you know?
Sold a few hundred copies. Did okay.
Okay.
You know, did all right, and it's still selling, and that's fine. I mean, that's these Cause and Effect ones are not instant sale ones. They're just things that'll always sell a couple of copies, you know, here and there. So it did okay, though. I think.
Well, dude, aren't you entering into the free market economy and selling these books? And don't you feel dirty for taking people's money as a corporate entities, like stealing people from their pockets so that you could sell your filthy merchandise?
You know, I keep looking for the book writers union so that I can have them get me an appropriate wage for the books that I produce.
Right.
No, you know, it is what it is, man. You know what? I'm out there hustling. That's my way of hustling.
Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
Hand job. Hey, guys. It's Tim James.
Hello, Tim James. How are you, sir?
Tim, was that Motley Crue like the bat signal? Is that how that works? If we play Motley Crue, that's like the bat signal for you?
Did you just play Motley Crue? I just tuned in.
Oh, well, you didn't catch the good crew.
You played Motley Crue as you should.
Yeah, the Corabi version. That's what we played, the John Corabi version, the good version.
Well, that is my favorite album of all time.
Really?
So oh, yeah, absolutely.
I thought Generation Swine was your favorite one of all time.
No, I didn't say that. What I said... Do I have to go there again?
No, I'm just trying to get you to clarify.
No, okay. I prefer the post-1991 Motley Crue to the previous Motley Crue. So anything from Primal Scream on. But my favourite album of all time is the self-titled album.
I can live with that, but Tim, we got it. I've been meaning to address this with you anyway. So you're going to tell me that Generation Swine, Bad Tattoo, and Saints of Los Angeles.
New Tattoo.
Whatever.
New Tattoo.
Yeah, he knows. He was making a joke, Tim.
So you got those records.
Well,
or you could have Shout at the Devil, Too Fast for Love, Theater of Pain, and Dr. Feelgood, because I hate Girls, Girls, Girls. But you could have those 4 albums, or you could have 94 Crew, New Tattoo, Generation Swine, and Saints of Los Angeles, and you'd go with B?
And don't forget the new stuff that was on Red, White, and Crew, and
I get it, Tim. Sick Love Song and Angela and all that other shit.
And music you can crash your car to and blah, blah, blah.
Promise Me. Yeah. Is that Crew or
well, that doesn't count, but yeah.
Yes. Tim, are you sure that it's not RT for retarded instead of CP? Tim, seriously, you know what? I mean, I'm no Motley Crue head. I'm really not, but I think almost universally people will take Shout at the Devil over anything after it.
Well, I don't know. But Motley Crue's like my Beatles. I love everything they've ever done.
Everything.
So. Glitter!
Absolutely.
I
love that song. We've been through this before. Yeah. I stand by my convictions. No matter how much you think they're wrong, I still stand by them.
All right. Well, regardless of the Crue debate here, Tim, what can we do for you this week?
Yeah, there's a plethora of stuff. You guys have heard the new Priest, obviously.
Yes, we talked about it at great length with our metal correspondent, Eric Braverman, last week. Yeah. So, yes, we have, and we talked about it, and We literally spent close to an hour on it last week. So, what's your question?
Yeah. Well, it's I got it on Friday because it was released on Friday here, which would have been your Thursday. Anyway, I don't know. I'm still in two minds about it. I've listened to it about 10 times now, I think. I think songwriting's really good, but I can see what you're saying about the production. But my question would be, don't you think that the production on Nostradamus wasn't that great, and also the production on Angel of Retribution wasn't that great either?
But it's not as bad as the new one.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
Tim.
I don't know. I mean,
go ahead.
What were you going to say?
I'm just listening.
Yeah, I just think. I mean, I think the songs are pretty good. Yeah, it's a. I don't think it's as bad as Eric Braverman made it out to be. I think they sound a lot more. There's a lot more Eye of the Tiger in there in terms of they sound pretty hungry on it. It's definitely better. I mean, it's infinitely better than the last AC/DC album, for example, which just sounded slow and ploddy. Yeah, I don't think it's that bad. Is it my favourite album of the year? Probably not. I think it's quite good.
Well, there are people that are of that mindset. There are people that are of my mindset. So it's one of those that is definitely not being universally received. We'll leave it there.
Next,
yeah.
Next topic.
What do you think? What do you guys think about what Brian Johnson came out this week and said the new AC/DC record's done already?
Well,
so
what can you say? The guy said it's done. I mean, seriously, what else can you say? I mean, I know of bands that have gone into the studio and knocked out a recording in a matter of 24 hours. So I don't think it's really a miracle that the new AC/DC is done. It's been 5 years since their last release. So is it really that impossible? No. Do I believe Brian Johnson?
No.
Yes. So what's the question?
Yeah. It seems to have been done pretty quickly, but they've got a reputation of doing things pretty quickly. So
basically, Tim, what you're saying is it sounds like it's pretty quick, but that's what they normally do. So basically, you have no point.
Yeah.
I mean, does time in the studio dictate how good an album will be?
Well, yes, Neely. Look at how good Chinese Democracy.
Yeah, that only took 13 years, but seriously, Tim, is that what you're equating? Is that the parallel you're making, that they seem to have gotten it done fairly quick? So is it going to be good? Is that your question?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm the same way. I like to get in there and get it done and get out. You know. Well,
apparently that's what they did.
But it's just funny. Well, I guess what the point I'm making is it's funny that some bands can just go in there and bang it out.
Well, Tim, they didn't have old Puddinhead in there now to slow them down. They had a capable bass player that could think.
And also, the other thing I was going to talk about, have you guys seen the new Guns N' Roses live DVD?
Yes, I have. Oh, boy. That is a fucking train wreck.
That is. How doctored do you think it is? You know what? I have to give it to that band, though.
Yeah.
I have to give it to that band, even though it's not Guns N' Roses. We all know it's not Guns N' Roses. It might say that on the tin, but we know it's not Guns N' Roses. The band is really good. The band is, you know, I'd put it to you that I don't know who the drummer is in that band, but I reckon he's better than Matt Sorum.
He's been on the show, Tim. He actually knows us by name.
That's Frank Farrar.
He's a really good drummer, that guy. He'd be better than Matt Sorum.
Well, of course he's a good guy. That's why he's our friend.
And so you guys, do you know that only sold like 4,000 copies in the first week? That can't be good, man.
Tim, people are not buying physical media these days. If you weren't aware of that, people are not buying that.
Yeah. But I just thought, like, it's their first live release in.
Yeah, but it's a joke. Nobody takes them as Guns N' Roses, so that's just like saying, dude, that's like if a Guns N' Roses tribute band put out a fucking record. How many do you think it would sell?
I don't know.
Nobody thinks of Nobody thinks of that band as Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, it's probably going to sell as many as this new Motley Crue country tribute Nashville Outlaws.
Oh, we could talk about that too, because that is horrendous.
Did you buy it, Tim?
I haven't bought it yet because it's not available. But
what do you mean yet?
I have heard.
Tim, you're allowed to say no. You're allowed to say this is beneath me. This is not worth my $12 or whatever.
Well, I will say this. Motley Crue better get their shit together before they come to Australia, because apparently the first night of the tour was fucking atrocious.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they got booed.
Apparently it was a train wreck. Jesus.
They got booed on that tour.
Apparently Alice Cooper's blowing them away every night.
Well, it's Alice Cooper. Let me ask you, Tim, have you seen Alice Cooper live?
Yeah, I did.
That guy runs his stage like a general in the most disciplined army in the world. I've never seen a bad Alice Cooper show. Those musicians that Alice chooses for his band, even though it's a rotating lineup, those guys know their shit right down to the last movement of Alice's cane. If Alice points in one direction, those guys move. They do what they're supposed to do. They're a well-disciplined, well-oiled machine, and of course Alice is blowing them off the stage.
Well, I'll still go for the last hurrah, and I'll still buy the freaking country tribute album. Just because I'm a Motley Crue nut swinger.
Have you heard this one? Have you heard Justin Moore doing Home Sweet Home?
I think that's good,
and
I think Animal and Me is good with Robin Zander.
I bought those two songs from Tim. Go to rehab, for God's sakes, dude. This is not good.
But for God's sake, whoever did the version of Dr. Feelgood on there, that guy deserves to be shot in the head with a hollow point bullet. It's fucking terrible.
I agree. Have you heard this, Neely?
No, I didn't listen to it. I saw it out there, but I did not stop to listen to it.
There's a couple of other ones on there that are just atrocious.
But you're going to buy it anyway just because it says Motley Crue on the cover?
Well, because I want to support Nicky.
Why? He's rich.
That's what fans do, man. They support.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Tim. You are an ardent Motley Crue fan. You've made that very clear on the show. I appreciate somebody who sticks with their convictions and enjoys their bands and whatever it is that they support. But Nicky would still charge you $4,000 to meet him on this tour,
which I'm not going to pay.
Well, regardless if you paid it or not, he's never going to say, Tim James, you've been an ardent supporter of me. You've spent your hard-earned cash buying all my stuff over the decades. Come on back and have a drink with me, buddy, because you've been a supporter. No, he said, cough up that $4,000 or you're not going to be able to lick my boot.
I know. I wish that would happen.
That he would invite you back to lick his boot?
You bought Shadow Life. Shadow Life is just as bad.
I didn't buy Shadow Life. I got that as a promo.
I didn't buy it.
I got that through the radio station when that came out.
Well, I bought Shadow Life.
I didn't buy it.
Oh, my God. And let's face it, Don's had his vocal problems as well as has been.
Yeah, but they're not selling meet and greet packages, and they're not making a buffoonery of themselves. They're still just going out there and playing shows and signing autographs for nothing.
Yeah, I'm still trying to find that 20 grand so they can come over to Australia and play for me.
Well, if you save 4 of it from Motley, you're quarter or you're 20% there.
Yeah, no, it's all good. But I mean, I know you're right, but it's just weird. I have this thing that says Motley Crue, and it's like I have to have it.
Jesus, dude! If Motley Crue made condoms, you'd fuck your wife with one on, wouldn't you?
If I needed them, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, your next guy.
And you'd yell out, "Call me Nikki, bitch! Call me Nikki."
Have you ever mistakenly called your wife by one of the Motley Crue guys' name?
No, I haven't, but I did do that to another. I did that. That did happen to me once with another girl. I called her another girl's name. It wasn't good.
What name did you call her?
I was dating this girl called Hillary, and I called her Emma.
And who was Emma?
Who was Emma?
Emma was the first love of my life.
Guy or girl?
It's a girl.
Could be short for Emerald, like the cook.
All right. Well, I've wasted enough of you guys' time. Hail and kill.
Fuck you, pal.
Who not?
Hail and kill, boys. It's Tim James calling from Sydney, Australia. How are you?
Well, thanks for calling, Tim.
Hail and kill. Fuck you, pal. And hand job!
And there goes Tim.